So once a week, you can go to certain people and they do called deliveries. You can do 6 deliveries a week, and the deliveries will give you quite a bit of experience, but they will also give you crafter scripts, which you can spend on gear or materia or anything for your crafters. So this is the highest level delivery. You can only do 12 deliveries a week, and each person will request 6 deliveries. So that means you can only fulfill requests for 2 people. So I'm gonna come over here to Kaishir, see what he wants. He wants a flying printer set. Now I could also go out and do the gathering. Okay, so I could either, this is for either the botanist or the miner. This one's for the fisherman. But I'm going to do crafting because I'm showing you guys crafting. So I'm going to do this flying printer set, even though this one has a bonus. I'm going to do this one. So first what I need materials to craft the flyers set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come running out here. Alright, run over here. And go to the merchant, and I'm going to need to buy materials that I can use. So we can see the flyer printing materials here. Okay, I'm going to need 6. Alright. Now, if you failed, you'd have to buy a new one, but I'm not going to fail, so. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to a crafter class. I prefer tailor. I like tailoring. So I'm going to switch to a tailor. I could also do it with my, culinarian, or my, is my leather worker up to? Yeah, my leather worker. These are all max level, so they all basically can do the same thing. I'm going to come back in here because the music's more enjoyable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this, the crafting log. But before I do that, I'm going to walk you through my abilities. Okay, so basically over here are my synthesis. Basic, focus, rapid, and careful. Basic is free. It's not going to cost me anything. This is CP. This is my energy. Basis is free. It doesn't cost me anything. It'll progress my item by 100%. Or sorry, by 120%. This one is also free, but it has a 50% success rate, so it could fail. But if it's successful, it will give me a 500% increase in not quality, but completion. Okay. So anyway, these synthesis are going to help complete it. So when I get 100% completion, I've crafted the item. And they all do different things. This one gives me 150% progress, but success rate's 100%. This one gives me 200% progress, but the success rate is 50%. However, if I use this ability over here, Observe, then it will be 100%. Over here, okay, so this is going to increase the completion of my item. These abilities over here, the touches, are going to increase the condition of my item, the quality of it. So the higher the quality of an item, the more it's worth. So you want high quality items, you're going to need to use these abilities, and then you need to use these abilities to complete it. Okay. Observe just kind of takes a turn. Inner Quiet is going to make it that every time I increase quality, each stack of Inner Quiet is going to multiply that up by a higher amount. Tricks of the Trade will renew my CP, so if my CP, every time I spend something, it's going to go down, 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 down. Tricks of the Trade is going to give me CP back, but only when the material is in good or excellent condition, which I will show you when I get there. This is going to basically heal the condition of my item. This kind of slowly heals it, but it actually heals it at a slower rate than what you're actually using it. So basically it just halves the damage you're doing to the material. Over here I have some more synthesises, and I have these abilities, which I'm not really going to need right now. These are for certain increases in things, but I'm not going to need them. And then over here I have more abilities that I'm basically not going to use, with the exception of Focused Touch. Alright, so let's go ahead and start crafting. So I'm going to open my crafting log. I'm going to hit triangle. Okay, we can see over here. Alright, there's a triangle thing here. And if you're wondering how I'm using a mouse here, I'm actually not using a mouse at all. Okay, it looks like I'm using a mouse. You can see the little cursor here. What it actually is on the PS4 or DS4, you have the D-pad. Final Fantasy 14 allows you to use the D-pad as a tracking pad, like on a laptop. So any kind of game that is actually released for PC that would need some sort of like selection method like this is actually entirely doable on the PS4, because this is basically just a tracking pad like what you'd see on a laptop. So that's how I'm able to do this. Now, when I'm doing it, I'm using my thumb. Okay, it took some getting used to. Obviously, if I was on a laptop, I'd probably be using my index finger. But the way I hold it, I'm using my thumb. So it took a while to get used to, but I did get used to it. You can also do it for if you're talking to people. If you hit the triangle, it brings up a keyboard, and what I could do is I could use this to type things out. Okay, so I could be like, you know, H-I space. And it's slow. Okay, it's slower than using a real pad, but you can get kind of fast with it. I usually still use the D-pad to scroll through things, just because there's more accuracy. If I'm doing this, it's kind of like wonky. You know, if I'm like J and I'm like, oh, I'm off J. You know, I'm trying to hit J. You know, there's a lot of little adjustments. But yeah. All right. Anyway, back to where we were. So what you're gonna do? Okay, you're gonna want to come over here, hit triangle. Okay, it brings you into here. I have master recipes. I don't need to use those. Housing, no. Other, no. Story, no. Beast, no. Custom deliveries. Beast scribe quests or other kind of quests you can do to get your levels up. So I'm doing a custom delivery, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up my custom delivery menu. This guy here that I'm talking to is Kaishir. Kaishir. I call him Kaishir. So I'm going to click on him, and it's going to tell me all the things that he could possibly request. Now, he was requesting the flyer printing set, so I'm going to go for that one. Okay, and it tells you what you need over here to make it. So I'm going to go up to the flyer printing set, select. Okay, so I need the flyer printing materials, which I bought. Go down to synthesis. Okay, and now we're going to do some actual crafting. So if you want to craft these sort of things at the highest level, the method that I usually use is I'm going to use inner quiet first. Okay, and what this is going to do is every time... Okay, so you can look over here, you can see progress and quality. When progress is 100%, that means that I have finished my thing and I've crafted it. Quality is going to say how good it is. And collectability basically is kind of a rank of how good it is. So the higher my collectability, the more rewards I'm going to be getting for turning it in. So I want to get this all the way up to the top. So to show you how this works, what I did is I did inner quiet. So now whenever I use an ability that raises quality, it's going to multiply by some stack of inner quiet. It's not going to multiply like inner quiet 2 equals times 2. It's more like inner quiet 1 is, I guess, times 0, and inner quiet 2 is like, you know, times 1.2 or something like that. So it's a very small increase, but you'll notice a big difference later on. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to use my touch abilities. My touch abilities increase my quality. And the touch ability that I'm going to want to use is this one here, Hasty Touch. So I could use this as 100% success rate, this one is 100%, and this one is 50%. But the thing is that this one only has a 60% success rate, but it's 100% quality. This one has 100% success rate and 100% quality, but this one's going to cost me 18 CP down here. This one's free. So because of that, I can save my CP for doing things like repairing later, which you're going to see. So now that I have my inner quality up, I'm going to want to use manipulation, which is this healing spell here, restores 5 durability. We can see over here durability. This is basically the life bar of your item. If it goes down to 0, the item breaks and you fail creating it. So you want to keep your durability up. So this is going to restore 5 durability with each step, which we notice if we look over here, it's going to say increase quality and require CP. It doesn't tell you the durability cost, but the durability cost is 10. So this is going to reduce my durability from 10 to 5. So I'm going to cast that. Okay, and now we can see here that my condition is good. So if I wanted to, I could hit this ability here, Tricks of the Trade, and what that would do is it would regenerate some of my CP. But I don't need to do that for this crafting stuff because of my gear and whatnot. So I know I'm going to be able to complete it before my CP runs out. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use Precise Touch. And what Precise Touch is, you can read the tooltip there. It increases the quality by 150%. or it increases inner quiet stacks. So my inner quiet, I have 1 right now, by 1. But it's actually going to increase it by 2. So normally every time I have a successful a successful touch ability, it's going to increase it by 1. This is going to increase it by an additional 1, so it'll go up to 3. My success rate is 100%, but my efficiency is now 100%. Okay, so because the quality is good, I'm going to get 150% quality. So here, I'm going to click it, I craft, and you can see my quality right there went up a little bit. Okay, and now my condition is back down to normal, so I cannot use precise touch anymore. So I'm going to use hasty touch again. Okay, I failed. That's okay. Use hasty touch again. I was successful that time. Use hasty touch again. 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 And one more time. Okay, so you can see it failed. So right now, I have a little bit left to go, but I'm down to 25%. I'm down to 25 points. Now, if it goes down to 0, it's gonna break, and I don't want it to break. So what I can do now is I'm going to restore. I'm going to use Master's Mend, which is going to restore 30 durability. However, because I have 1 more stack of manipulation, that's going to be an additional 5, so it's actually going to restore 35, which is why I waited until I'm 25, not waited at 30. So I'm going to use Master's Mend here. Okay, and now I'm back up to 60 durability. Okay, so now I can continue, start over again. My inner quiet stacks are already 7, so now I'm just going to hit manipulation again. So that's going to reduce the amount of durability cost each time. I got a good condition again, so I'm going to use precise touch again, which I probably actually don't even really need to. And now we can see that I've maxed out my quality. Okay. So this is the best it's ever going to be. This is the highest quality it can possibly be. So now I'm just going to work on my progress. I could use Careful Synthesis 2 times, and that should do it. Okay. Alright, and then I've synthesized a flyer printing set. Okay, so that was just 1. I'm going to do this 5 times. And this time I'm going to open up the calculations. So this is going to show you what all my different actions would do at the current time. So, or at the current thing. So at 500 efficiency, my progress would increase. So what we're going to look at right now is at 150% efficiency, which this ability, if you read it right there, the description is efficiency is 100%. So at 150% efficiency, progress would increase by this much. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Inner Quiet again. All right. And then I'm going to do Manipulation again. Okay. Now watch this. Right now it's 1252. But if it succeeds... Oh, it failed. Ah, it failed again. Oh, so unlucky. There we go. Okay, so now I have 2 stacks of Inner Quiet. This should actually be higher. It's not. But anyway. But you can see, anyway, I went up by 844 last time. Okay. So that would take us up to 1688 if I got the same thing again. So another 844 would be 1688. So watch. If I do it again... It is higher than 1688, okay? And the reason for that is because my inner stacks or inner quiets are higher. So each time I get another stack of Inner Quiet, it's actually increasing the amount my quality increases by. So the more so early on when you're playing, if you don't really know what you're doing, if you don't really know what you're doing and you see your quality going up by just a tiny bit, you're thinking, oh my god, like there's no way I could possibly get the highest quality. If you have Inner Quiet up, it's going to get faster and faster each successive time. So, you know, the first few, you're going to, you might use, like, say, 4 abilities just to get it halfway, but it might only use 2 to get it the rest of the way. So, just because you see a little bit of progress in the beginning doesn't mean that that's not a good thing. Okay. So let's do it again. Fail. Fail. And you can see I'm very, very unlucky this time. I'm getting a lot of failures. Oops. I casted the wrong ability. Okay. So you see I'm getting a lot of failures, but that's okay because since I'm saving all my CP for this Precise Touch, see, and Precise Touch goes by a huge margin. So what you could do is when I get a good condition, I could use Tricks of the Trade to get some of my CP back, but actually the benefit from Precise Touch is going to be higher than the benefit from having that extra CP. So, and now that I'm so close, I could use Hasty Touch again, but I'm actually not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here to Delicate Synthesis, okay? Because what Delicate Synthesis does is it increases both progress and quality by 100%. So if I use it, it's going to give me a little bit of progress, but at the same time it finished off that quality here. And I don't want to use just Delicate Synthesis because you can see right here, it did over half, which means if I did Delicate Synthesis twice, I would complete my item, but my quality would be really, really low. I don't want that, so instead what I did was I waited until the end to use Delicate Synthesis and just got it kind of the last way. Now I'll show you how fast it can go if I just walk right through it. Okay, so Inner Quiet, Manipulation, Hasty Touch. Okay, Hasty Touch, Hasty Touch. Oops, I should have gone with the Precise, but I got Hasty Touch. But I still got a benefit from the since it was good there. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this time I'm using Precise Touch. Big jump. Hasty Touch again. Heal it back. Throw Manipulation back up. Use another Precise Touch. And I'm just going to risk it. This has, Rapid Synthesis has a 50% success rate, but it gives me 500 progress. So if it succeeds, it just automatically finishes off my entire item. Otherwise, I could have used Careful Synthesis twice, and that would have been guaranteed to do it. Alright, so this... I had a good quality there. I should have used Precise Touch, but I was too quick on the trigger there. Alright. And I'm going to do this basically 6 times. Oh, I meant to show you there, but I forgot. Okay. Get that back. Okay. Oh, it's so low. Alright. What? There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna 2 times. And alright, there we go. And there's one more thing I should show you. Hang on. Alright, so I want my Inner Quiet, I want my Manipulation, Hasty Touch. Okay, so now I have an excellent quality. This is rare. This doesn't happen as often, but this is going to give me a huge boost. It won't finish it, but it'll get pretty dang close. And watch here, it says Inner Stack Quiet 2. So if I had a successful one, a successful touch, normally it would go up to 3, but on excellent or good, it'll jump up to 4 because it'll actually give me 2 stacks. So, see now it jumped up to 4, and it jumped all the way up here. So it increased by a considerable margin. Now you'll also notice that condition is poor. When your condition is poor, that means if you do a touch action, it's actually going to do less. So right now this is at 100% efficiency, but with poor it's probably closer to like 50 to 80. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my time here. I'm just going to do 1 Careful Synthesis. Okay, so that's going to put my condition back to normal, and since I'm going to need the Careful Synthesis later anyway, I can just grab it now. Finish this off, and Careful Synthesis it out. Okay, and the last one. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So I don't have any stacks of Inner Quiet right now because I forgot to put it up, which is really bad because I really should have done it. So I lost out basically on a free stack of Inner Quiet right there. All right. And so this is why I kind of like crafting in Final Fantasy XIV is in other games. I mean, obviously I haven't played every game out there, but I have played WoW. I have played Guild Wars 2, And there, the crafting was basically just you had to learn a recipe, and then you had to have the correct items. And then once you had the recipe and you had the items, then you would just craft it. You just say craft this item, and done. Boom, it's gone. And then there's just kind of a little, maybe a little level of RNG in there. There's a chance of failure depending on if it's above your level. Then maybe there's like a 80% chance of success. If it's at your level, it's 100%. If it's lower than your, maybe it's 80 when it's at your level, it's 50 when it's below, or it's 100 when it's below, and it's 50 when it's above. So but it was basically just, select this item, craft it, done. And sometimes you have higher quality things, but there's kind of a level of RNG, random number generator in there. And that would make it so, you just have to craft tons of things. Final Fantasy 14 makes it so much easier because you can just craft something, be like boom, boom, boom. You have more control over it, and that makes it more fun for me. And I don't have any of these things. Okay. So what we can also do is you can come here. You can do what's called quick synthesis. And I can't do quick synthesis for this recipe because I don't have any items anymore. But I'll show you after I turn these in. We're going to go to the next zone and do my other 6 for the week. And they'll go a lot faster, I promise. Okay. So I'm just going to turn them all in. Okay. And I can't turn them all in at once, unfortunately. It would be nice, but it's okay. There's only 6. And basically, I'm going through real fast what he's saying, but he's basically saying, like, oh my god, you're amazing. These are the highest quality things I've ever seen in my life. Okay, and then there'd be a little cutscene there, which I'm going to skip because it's really just him talking about how great I am. And how thankful he is that I'm amazing. And I'm not just bragging, like, that's literally what he's going to say. So, now... I didn't really show you, but it gave me crafter scripts. And I can come over here to the script exchange. I can use my crafter script exchange. I can use yellow scripts, which are for lower level stuff. White is for the max level stuff right now. 80 is the max level. I already have all the gear. Okay. I don't have all those gears, but I have all these gears. Okay, so you can see I have one of everything. And I have one of all the armor. So they haven't released the accessories yet. So I'm going to go to items because I don't really need the white crafting skips anymore because I basically have all the stuff I need. So these are items that you can use to craft certain collectibles and whatnot. I don't want those. What I want are these 3 things down here. Okay, these are materia. You can put these on your gear and they're going to make your crafting better. So this is going to increase your control by 13%. Control is what impacts when you increase the quality, how much does your quality go up by. This increases your CP, so that's the energy that you use. This would give you 9 extra energy. And this one is craftsmanship, which basically means that when you try to complete the project, the amount that the progress bar goes up is higher. So most people, like I said, progress, you're pretty much guaranteed if you know what you're doing. This has a little bit of an element of an RNG to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to buy 2 of these. And the reason I'm buying 2 of these now, my current gear, I actually cannot equip materia to. There's no materia slots. You can't really see it. But if I switched over to, another class, like maybe Blue Mage. Oh no, that's a Blue Mage gear. Maybe my Lancer. Let's see if anything. Okay, so if you look over. So if you look over in the description, item level, you'll see it says materia, and there's 2 little green circles. Those are where you can equip materia. So in certain gear, you can equip materia, and that's going to increase your stats. So the gear that I'm currently using on my crafter does not have materia slots, so I cannot increase the stats on this gear. But some gear does. So if somebody had that gear, then they would definitely want to equip materia because it would make their crafting a little bit better. And the reason I grab it, though, even though I can't use it, is because I can come over to these guys here, and just as an example, I'm going to pull something off the market. I'm going to pull this crab leg off the market. Oh, well, no. This is selling for 100. Selling for 200. I'll grab this one off the market. So return to inventory. So now, if I come over here to this Craftsman's Command Materia, I look at the price. This stuff is selling for 14,000, you know, or higher. So you can make a lot more money off of this. Now, I'm not going to sell these. I'm going to go back and sell this for 100. And the reason for that is I could sell those right now, but people tend to like to buy these in stacks. So, for example, you saw most of them on there were selling for like stacks of 10. I usually sell for stacks of 4 or 5. So I'm going to wait until I have more, and then I can sell more at one time, rather than selling them in small amounts. I'm just going to sell them in bulk. So it's also important, though, that I didn't grab my yellow stuff. I didn't grab the yellow crafter scripts. So I'm going to go back here real quick, spend my yellow crafter scripts. Oh, that's not, I don't want to talk to her. Alright, and I'm going to sell these. I'm going to exchange these for materia as well. Okay, the other material was level 8. This is level 7. So I'm just going to buy 5 of these. And I would sell those because there are 5 of them. So now I'm going to show you... I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it... No. We don't want to go to Kuganen. We want to go to Robert's Reach. Alright, so... I was just crafting something at my level. That was basically level 80 items. I do have one ability, though. That's going to make crafting lower level items much, much easier. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to Minago, because she's going to tell me what she wants. And then once I know what she wants, then I can start making it for her. Now, this older content is a little bit different from the newer content, and I'm going to show you after I talk to Minago. Okay. So she wants M-Tribe Sundries. So I'm going to run over here. Because all this stuff is on the... Because of course everything you need is always on the opposite side of the room, right? It's never right next door. So I have to run complete opposite side of camp. This guy over here. Material supplier. Now, before I talk to this guy, I need to check something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the crafting log. Go up to Minago. And she wanted the M-Tribe Sundries. Now, we can see M-Tribe Sundries and M-Tribe Sundries component. Now, if you look, M-Tribe Sundries require 3 components. Okay? Now, if I go over to Kaishir, it's just printer set. There's no printer set components. Okay? But if you look at Zoe, there's, you know, component, antique, component, souvenir, component, material, component, gift. So all the components are here. Minago has them as well. Kaishir does not. Now, the reason for that is because... Let's see. I'm going to need one... Oh, no. I need 3 components for each sundry. So I'm going to go to the materials supplier. Now, I could go in and I could buy component materials. And then I could buy the materials, and then I could create my own components, or I could just buy components. Now, I'm just going to buy my own components. Let's see, there's 3. So I'm just going to buy 17 so I can show you something. So I'm going to buy 17 components, and I'm going to make the last... I'm going to make the last one. Okay. So what I used to do is... I used to have to come in here to Minago. I would have to build, you know, make the, I would have to make a component. So what I would do is I would just come in, basically do the same thing that I was doing before. You can see I'm a much higher level, so I'm getting quality much faster now. Excellent quality. That should finish it off, I think. Yep. Okay, and then finish it off. Okay. So you see it says M-Tribe component, and it has this weird little C thing next to it. So now, if I go here, you can see this is NQ and HQ. NQ is normal quality. HQ is high quality. Okay. So if I'm using 3, of the normal quality items, then you can see that my quality starts off at 0. Okay? So my quality would start off at 0 and I have to build it up. Now, if I use a high quality item, you can see that my quality starts with a boost. So before, what we would have to do is we would have to build... we could basically buy the regular normal quality components, or we could create our own normal quality components, so we could buy the components to make the materials. Okay, we would have to buy the what were they called? Component materials. So we'd have to buy component materials, craft high quality components, and then use those high quality components to craft high quality sundries. Okay, and so that's what we used to have to do, and basically it could literally take me 20 minutes to a half hour, depending on how many of these I have to do, because I would have to craft, because I need 18 of these, and I would have to craft 3, I'd have to craft, luckily I would only need, so I'd have to craft 18 of these, and then I'd have to craft another 6 of these, and then because I'm trying to get high quality, I'm using all the abilities, so I'm, going the long way. But now, for anything that's over, since we hit level 80, they added a new ability. So now anything that is over, anything that's 10 levels or under my current level. So you can see this is level 62. Okay, I'm level 80. So I can just use a new ability called Muscle Memory. I think it's Muscle Memory. No, it's not Muscle Memory. Where is it? It's not Muscle Memory. It is Trained Eye. Where is it? Muscle Memory? Ah! Okay, well, I just wasted a sundry. I'm going to throw that one away because that one is not... Well, you see the collectability is 114. That's garbage. Okay, so over here, I'm going to purchase another 3. I hit that ability by accident. So I need another 3, 4, 3. Okay. Alright, so I wasted my materials. So there should be an ability here. What is it called? Is it Spygot's Throne? Should be one. Ah, okay. Trained Eye. So I have ability Trained Eye, and what it does is it increases quality by 100%. What that means is that it automatically gives me 100% quality. Okay. Now, I could just hit Trained Eye and then hit the other ability. Where is it? I don't have Trained Eye on my bar. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so here's Trained Eye right here. So I could do it that way. So I could show you here. So I could just go and hit Trained Eye. Okay, and you can see it uses a lot of CP. But I instantly get 100% collectability. And then I could just basic synthesis to finish off the item. Okay. Alright, so I could do that. But I'm lazy, so what I did is, you can see down here, high quality part 2. I made myself a macro. Okay, so I'll show you macros real quick. So macros are over here. And so my macro uses Trained Eye, waits, then it uses Careful Synthesis, then it waits, then it uses Careful Synthesis again. So basically what I can do is I can just hit this macro, take my hands off, and it's going to complete the item for me. Okay. So I just did that to save myself a little bit of time. Now I wouldn't want to do that with the high level stuff, because the high level stuff you have, remember, when it's good quality, I want to be able to use precise touch. So I have to pay a little bit more attention. I can't just make a macro that's going to work. There might actually be a way to do it. I don't know. But I haven't figured out a macro for it. There might be some online. But I just use this macro for lower level stuff, and for higher level stuff I just do it manually, because it tends to work pretty well. So close. So, alright, and then I can just synthesize. So like I said, this used to take me 15-20 minutes, sometimes longer, to knock out not just the one person, but because I would have to go to 2 different people. So I would actually be doing not only those original 18 components plus the additional 6, so 24 items for this guy, I'd be doing 24 items for somebody else as well. So, like for instance, up with Kai Shir, I had to do 6 items. So I'd be doing 6 items for Monago, and I would be doing 24 items for Monago, 24 items for Zoe, and that would just take a really long time. But now, because of Kai Shir, I don't have to make those small level components. And then also, you only have to buy 1 component for each thing as opposed to 18 or whatever. So I think basically they just figured out that everyone was figuring out macros anyway, and they just figured, you know what, let's just make it easier on everyone because everyone's just using macros anyway. So they just made it all easier on us. So I'm going to come over here to Monago. I'm going to talk to her. She wants the M-Tribe Sundries. And if we look, you can see down here, collectability. So if the collectability was 114, her satisfaction would go up by a little bit. Her satisfaction's already all the way up, so I've maxed that out. But for the M-Tribe Sundries, we can see that the collectability is, she's going to give me gil, she's going to give me some money. She's going to be yellow scripts and white scripts, and the higher my quality is, she's going to give me more money, more scripts. Okay. So, let's go over, hand over these things to her. Okay. And one more. And then, of course, she would go into a cutscene again. Talk about how great I am. Okay. Alright, so then you can see how crafting works.